Yep. It's your boy, BossCowboySports, bringing you
another one.
Yes, indeed. We at that time, the Boss Cowboy Offseason Dallas Cowboy Guide 2025. This is something I've been doing for years. I've transitioned this to video format because, it's actually just easier. And then a lot of people don't read, so it's better to give content out there where people, how they consume information. Video. So we gonna talk about it, and we gonna talk about a little bit of everything. But this is obviously a very important time. And every one of the Boss Cowboy guys, every one of them, they first start with leadership. Every one of the books that I've ever written, in every book, it start with the top. Every time. So this is a very, 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 very important time. So we go start with them first. We go break down their vision. We go break down how they do things. And then we go talk about what we need to do about it. Also, this particular stream is brought to you by BetUS. At BetUS, you can get 150% bonus on your first deposit and 125% on your next two deposits up to $2,000. Promo code YouTube150. So y'all sit back and relax, man. Y'all know I got to do some stuff on the back end, but this gonna be real interesting. When y'all see this chart, y'all know it's time to work. I got all the free agents, all of them listed by their position groups. So I do it like this so we can know how to move. It's very important. So we can get a clear picture of the people we gonna have to replace or bring back. So y'all can sit back and relax. Your boy Boss Cowboy gonna bring you that sauce. Be right back. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, that boy landlord in the building. I see y'all saying landlord. That boy in the building. If so, what's up? Angie, I got your comment about the salary cap. I'm gonna do some info on that. I'm gonna wait till they actually come out with that. So yeah, I got you. I saw you comment. You was like, I was keeping up. I want to know the rest. Nah, I got you. The good thing about that that cap stuff, I already saved that information, Andrew. So when it's time, I'm gonna come back with that, and I'm gonna really break down why we looking at that cap maybe a little bit the wrong way. Man, executives in the building, man. Y'all be killing me. I love y'all, man. Y'all real ones. All right, let's go. Let's get it. Let's go. All right. All right. All right. So it's the off season, and so this is I would say honestly, this is the time I would say I'm probably at my best, to be honest, man. Cause I'm gonna be honest, man. The season is kind of easy. That's kind of easy work, right? You don't have to think too much during the season. You don't. It's pretty simple stuff. It's like you got the opponent that's up and coming. You go break down that opponent. You go watch the game. You go review what happened, right? Then you go get ready for the next opponent and prepare like the matchups and stuff like that. And it's pretty routine because everything locked. But the off season is different. It's different. I like it because it's fast and you got to be really thinking. I guess they have dead periods. I guess it's dead if it's hard for you to talk football. Because, some people can talk content when stuff is breaking. I think your better ones can talk content when it's quiet as well. Like when it's not that much going on. They can really kind of still prepare you for what's coming. So that's what today's show is about. It's preparing you for what's coming. So as I was saying, I've been writing books for a while about the off season because in my opinion, most of us do the off season wrong. Okay. I ain't calling nobody out, but I'm just gonna say it how it is. We spend way too much time talking about the draft, especially this year. My boy say, like my boy Landlord from Wakanda, he said, boss make things complicated. All we need is Genty and maybe Debo. So I respect your difference, brother. But how can you have this many free agents and say we only need 2 players? How can you have this many free agents? We don't have enough draft picks to take care of the free agents that we have. Either we're going to have to bring a lot of them back or we're going to have to do a lot of shopping also in free agency. So, and because I'm being all the way honest, because, he said, I'm joking. Ain't no problem, brother. That's why I said, I respect your opinion because it's hard to kind of see how y'all moving from a chat. But if you don't spend no time in free agency, I'm going to tell you, a lot of times you're going to miss some real good deals. Because it's draft. And it's like, for instance, last year, and I said this loud, I said I looked at the running back draft class and I compared it to the vets. And this wasn't popular to say then. And I said the vets are way better. That's exactly what I said. And they was. See, this year, The running back free agency is not as good as it was last year. But I'm going to tell you which group is the group this year in free agency. And I know who gonna know exactly who I'm talking about. Keystone. This year, the safeties is the free agency sleeper group. See, this was Andre Cisco Nim class. See, that class, if you go back 4 years, that's the benefit of having these books. When I wrote these books, I could see who was available 4 years ago and who was just getting ready to be acquired. And see, this is funny too. I was just looking at this. I got Will Hernandez on the first page of my book, and he heavily talked about right now. That's Will Hernandez to the right. See, the good thing about these books, when you do a Boss Cowboy guide, yeah, the safeties. The safeties is the group this year. See, if anybody purchased these books, all you got to do is go look at who was the people that was getting ready to be drafted. Those are the current free agents right now. So this was my last book right here. So next year, the group, whichever was the deepest group in that draft class, that's going to be the deepest group in free agency. So every one of these books start with leadership though. Okay. So that's what we're dealing with today. So I'm going to talk about that first, so we can have a clear understanding of the Joneses. Because on some things they do good. Some things they just fumble. So let me just get right into it. Obviously, when you're dealing with them Joneses, you really dealing with a three-headed monster. You dealing with Steven, you dealing with Jerry, you dealing with Will McClay. And mostly they make committee decisions. And committee, for the most part, has been doing pretty good. So let's say if Jerry start kind of getting wild and he want to kind of go typical Jerry, kind of like all man Jerry, just bold. The other guys through that committee are able to sometimes talk to him and talk him down or talk him up on things that need to be discussed. And I think all of them together, in terms of getting the right talent, they do pretty good. They do pretty good. But where they fumble, okay, the big fumble. Yeah, he say Jerry skipping on the combine. I didn't even see that. He's skipping. Yeah, he can go ahead and skip that combine. You just watch him. You can catch a lot of that stuff on a video. I wouldn't go either, really. Real talk. Oh, the only reason you want to go is because of interviews. And then you get a chance to talk to scouts and stuff like that. Kind of get a feel for who guys are thinking about drafting and stuff like that. And I think the networking will be fantastic. But on the leadership, the philosophy of those three is if you pick them, you got to play them.
That's the most important thing, is if you pick them, you got to use them.
That's their philosophy. If you pick them, you got to use them. And they talking about the drafted guys. The person that's actually holding the whole thing together is Will McClay. Will McClay, yeah. He holds the whole thing. If it wasn't for him, this whole strategy will fall off a cliff. Because yes, they still do things by a committee. And yes, he's able to customize the draft board based on the coaches that's in the building, because he does customize what they want. If Dan Quinn say, I want long guys with ball skills, he go get it. If Schottenheimer say, I ain't putting no measurements on you, just go get me some football players he go get it. So he customizes his draft board depending on the needs and the wants of that current coach. He's very good at that. He's a very adaptable personnel guy. He's going to allow you to build your vision. But he's also the glue to everything. He is absolutely the glue. But if I was writing a book this year, I would say this. The biggest thing about them that's a big mistake is that they overreach for their guys from that same vision that he laid out. If you pick them, it's an overreach, a major one.
You got to use them.
One more time.
That's the most important thing is if you pick them, you got to use them.
That's the overreach. And it's consistent. So even I was just thinking about today when they acquired Clinton Diggs, who came off a very good year with Chicago. They was being loyal at that time to, what's that safety? That's a coach right now. He was getting cooked. I can't remember his name. Y'all help me out. Thompson. So you mean to tell me Clinton Diggs, who at that time had like 120 tackles on the year with Chicago, couldn't beat out Thompson? But they got that weird philosophy. And it's not weird. They mean well, but the problem is it creates an unfair environment for free agents. So when you got this philosophy of if you pick them, you got to use them, then what happens is Matt Waletzko will have 9 lives. Josh Ball will have 9 lives, right? Anthony Brown, he finally came around, but it took him 6 years. And they just waited. Noah Brown, it took him 6 years before he really became a quality receiver. And if you pick them, you got to use them.
That's the most important thing is if you pick them, you got to use them.
They stay with it. So, and that causes a bad morale thing. Now, think about this. Right now, we know one of the biggest holes we have right now is at DT. We know that, right? With Osa. Now, think about this. What if we would have just kept Phillips? Now, we saw how Phillips played when he left us and went to Buffalo. Because we was ready to see Meek Phillips. I love it when y'all just stop me mid-sentence with a fact. Like, look at this. Jeff Heath. Yeah. Jeff Heath and Woods. They had way too many lives. Think about it. Think about how they did George Aloka when he got here. George Aloka hardly got preseason snaps. It's an obvious bias to their guys. But this is the good news. Yeah, my boy say linebacker. Yeah, I got any position y'all say, I got an example of our guys. So like my boy Keystone say linebacker. Yeah, the worst, it was 2 that was horrible at linebacker. Horrible. How they did Malcolm Smith, who came from Seattle. He was the MVP of their Super Bowl. He clearly outplayed Sean Lee. And they sent him on and brought Sean Lee back. Yep. And then we know about Bobby Wagner now. See, that's public. See, I was saying it then. I was saying, man, they are ignoring literally Bobby Wagner for LVE. And just to listen, y'all gonna get mad. Y'all gonna get mad when I say this, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. Even Zach Martin, bruh, what just happened with Zach Martin, bruh?
Oh, hell no.
Did y'all look at that dead cap hit we got because we re-signed him? And Jerry said if he would have came back, they would have started him. Huh. With him clearly declining. So, like, if I'm just being honest about our front office, they have what I would call a good old boy environment. They do. They got a good old boy environment. It's if they favor you or not, if they have built a relationship with you or not, if they like you or not, and if they drafted you or not, or believed in you in the draft process. That's good old boy. This is not an environment to where we go just get the talent, we go let y'all compete, and we go let the field decide. This is not that environment. This is an environment where they have predetermined outcomes. And the only, they did Rashaan Evans dirty. They did Noah dirty too. They did Fowler dirty. Yeah. Them free agents are, Rashaan Evans, that was a shame. A former first rounder. And see, this is the worst part. They do it to people that was certified former dogs. They don't do it to scrubs. They do it to certified must. Noah was a former first. Evans was a former first. Fowler was a former lottery pick, a top 5 guy. So, and I'm gonna be honest, sadly, we don't talk about this enough. I say that all the time. The fans don't talk about that enough. So, because we don't raise no hell about our guys, they just keep doing it. As long as we go every offseason into draft, we go fix it with the draft. If we don't spend no time talking about our guys, and if you pick them, you got to play them, they gonna keep running that play.
That's the most important thing, is if you pick them, you got to use them.
They gonna run that play over and over until we together say enough. But right now, it's not enough of us. I'm just being honest. It's not enough of us calling that out. And to me, that's our number one problem. They did it to Amari. I'm talking about, man, if I was an agent, I wouldn't want a free, and I represented clients, I wouldn't want my free agents to come to Dallas unless they was on a 30 visit. If they was on a 30 visit, I'd be like, yeah. If they bet on you before, go there. But if they never bet on you, if you just talented, don't go. Because they gonna mess around and put a scrub over you. And that's for real. So that's the culture. I mean, that is the culture, right? And the good news is maybe, I doubt it, but maybe they are starting to become humbled, because the fans are mad and they've never been this mad. And I'm starting to see a shift in their tone. See, last year in the offseason, this is what Steven said. Listen.
You don't see yourself having more needs to fill this year because of your cap situation and your lack of activity in free agency compared to past years?
I've been, we've never been real active in free agency.
Right, but you've done a lot of stuff.
Look at him. He said that with his chest out. We ain't never been real active in free agency. Like, look.
You don't see yourself having more needs to fill this year because of your cap situation and your lack of activity.
Hold on real quick. Lou, what's up, Lou? Lou in the building. There's a fire comment by Lou. What Lou said. It's a fire comment. He said, how do they appreciate their current position without fighting for their spot? Clap it up for Lou. Clap it up for Lou. I'm going to come back to Stephen Jones real quick. I want to talk about what Lou just said. I don't know if y'all remember this, but I said, you know what's going to make Schoon better? Bench him. Do y'all remember me saying that? I said, you want to make Schoon better? Bench him. Oh, boss, you got to let him develop. So no. See, when you just give players these positions and then everybody in the building know that you're going to be favored because you drafted, that doesn't make you hungry. That doesn't make you execute. That doesn't make you feel like your life is dependent on you making plays. So the early Schoon was dropping layup balls. And then they eventually what? Benched him. Then what happened to Schoon? What happened after that? What happened after that? Was he a world beater? No. But was he dropping stuff?
Oh, hell no.
Nope. See, when you make them boys earn it, both sides max out to lose point. I remember one time Jarwin was burnt trash. I mean, boo-boo. I mean, I know y'all hate this button.
Around me shooters, ain't
This button. That was Jarwin. And when did they bench him? In a Jags game. Benched him. Put Schultz out there. Schultz was trash too. Huh. But then when they put Jarwin back in there, after he knew, oh, I'm one of their guys, but I can lose this, Jarwin became a monster overnight. When he started again, he had 4 touchdowns versus the Giants. And this is the thing. I'm going to just say this, man. I'm going to go back to Stephen Jones. This philosophy, if we pick them, you got to play them. They think they making a team better. They making it worse. You making your team entitled. And you are dividing your locker room. You're dividing it. The fact that they come out and say, we pay our guys. If people just use common sense and just imagine you're a free agent. If you say we pay our guys, then that's clearly saying if you're a free agent, you're not one of our guys. That's automatically saying you're a bastard. You a son, but you're not a legitimate son. That's what a bastard is. When you're an illegitimate child. You was born, but you wasn't born of marriage. You was born outside the marriage. So you a bastard. Those drafted, they're our sons. They're our guys. You're not one of our guys. So let me go back to Steve.
Free agency compared to past year.
I've been, we've never been real active in free agency.
Right, but you've done a lot.
We've done things, and we're not through. We'll see. Or
we've done things. We'll see. See, this was last year when they did nothing in free agency. But then you listen to them now.
We call it both things. We want continuity, but we also want change. And obviously what we've done, hadn't gotten the job done.
Wow, what a change. Went from, we've never really been involved with free agency with his nose in the air.
Where we end up on some of these things in terms of in terms of what makes sense for us.
So you don't see yourself having more needs to fill this year because of your cap situation and your lack of activity in free agency compared to past year?
We've never been real active in free
free agency. Now
We call it both things. We want continuity, but we also want change. And obviously what we've done, hadn't gotten the job done. We accept that. We accept that our fans can have frustration, that we hadn't gotten that job done. And you can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect something to change. So we need to change, but at the same time, we've got a lot of things right. And so there's a lot of continuity we want to keep as well. So the combination of continuity, but also change is why Coach Schottenheimer's our coach. Obviously, we want to change the narrative. Our narrative is, we hadn't been in a championship game or a Super Bowl in 30 years. And that sits with us, in a hard way. And we know we have to be better. And you can't expect to keep doing the same things over and over and expect a different result.
What a year. See, when you look up and you see Philly win the Super Bowl, and you see Washington in the NFC Championship, and your fans mad as hell, it can change. And then my boy D-Block say, Steven ain't gonna do shit, boss. D-Block, I think he gonna do a little bit more than what he's done in the past. I think they go give us some shut-up signings. I think they go give us a couple of pretty good named free agents, some marshals. They go give us some, quality former greats, right? But I'm going to be honest, I don't even care about getting them. I care about how you treat them when they get here. I don't even care about getting them. Because they do get them. They went and got Evans. No snaps. They went and got Noah. No snaps. You went and got Murray. You ran him off for Gallup. You went and got Fowler. When he was your best rush in by ratio, snaps to sacks, snap to pressures, you did not increase his reps. So I expect some shut-up signings. And then Ed just say, if they get Miles, I'll shut up. Me too. But they feeling the pressure. They are feeling the pressure because the fans are really mad. Y'all mad. Real mad about this. So are they and will they likely change? No. And then I'm going to say why they probably won't change. Y'all want to really know the real reason they won't change? Too many injuries. 2024 had too many injuries. So they go use that. They go say, and I heard Steven say it. He said 50% of our cap was on IR. 50% of our cap was on IR. And he go look at it and say, even with 50%, and that's a lot, y'all. Come on now, let's be real. 50% of your payroll is gone. Yeah, but yet they go say we beat Washington once, who was an NFC championship. We should have beat them twice. We won 7 games. We should have won 10. They go say when it comes to talent, shit, we beat Washington with our B team. How much would you change? Let's keep it real. How much would you change? Keep it real. If you just watched the way you do it, put up a major fight with 50% of your cap gone, I'm talking about on IR, how much, let's be honest, how much would you really change? Real talk. And I agree with this 100%. He said, if 50%, then that means upgrade training staff. I said, that's the number one need. And B Bird said, that's why I love B Bird. B Bird said, I would change a lot. All right, so let me get down to the now what do we need to do? When Steven talking like this,
we call it both things. We want continuity, but we also want change. And obviously what we've done, hadn't gotten the job done. We accept that. We accept that our fans can have frustration that we hadn't.
When Steven talking like that, this is when I say you got to be organized on saying exactly what you want. You can talk about what's wrong, but this is not the time to overly talk about what's wrong. Right now, it's about throwing a bunch of good ideas at front office and doing it together. That's why we got this new campaign with Myles Garrett and Michael Parsons. We no longer doing Project 2020, MM 2025. We're not doing that. That might be offensive. We changing it to Project M&M or Pressure for Pressure. I'm gonna be pushing that out there more. And then Superstar say I stopped buying Cowboys merch. It takes stuff like that. So it's about doing stuff like this, letting them know that you're angry. Some kind of way, whether you spend less, go to less games, that type of thing. But more importantly, being organized and saying exactly what we want to see. And that's why I wish it was more people talking and speaking out against the Our Guys philosophy. One of the only few people lately that I'm even starting to hear hint towards it is Brian Broaddus. Brian Broaddus is the only person over the last 3 weeks that has been really leaving big clues against the Our Guys philosophy. He done said it multiple times. He said, he was talking to John Machota. He said, do you think they finally go outside and get some guys, or they go do what they normally do and try to pay their guys? He was leaving a clue of it's ways to get better without always depending on the guys that you drafted before. See, we made that mistake when it was Pollard. Ooh, I got something for you, George Booney. I need you to come have a seat, big dog. This my brother. This my brother, man. He a San Fran fan. Me and you need to talk, brother. Guess what I found? Courtesy of Clebo. Look what I found. Wow. Lawrence Taylor played but didn't record a tackle in 15 games in the playoffs in his career. My boy Clebo said that the other day, and I went and double checked. He was telling the truth.
Bringing real back. 50 speaking his mind. That boy with the shit.
Now we talking about the greatest defensive player of all time. In 15 playoff games, he only had 6.5 sacks and no tackles. But what's amazing is what you hear a lot of Cowboy fans say. Don't pay Micah because he don't show up in the playoffs. But them same people say, I would have paid Lawrence Taylor. What? What does that show you, y'all? What does this show? What does this say? What does this say?
Bringing real back. 50 speaking his mind. That boy with the shit.
Yeah, D-Block, it's him. D-Block say, no, not the great LT. Him, dog. Him. That guy. Yeah, no, yeah, him. The same one who threw Michael Parsons under the bus the other day. Let's do more football and let's podcast it. Look like you needed to do something too, dog. Ain't that some BS, dog? Damn, man. So listen, y'all. What is this saying, y'all? Wait, come here. Hey, come here. Come over here. I need to talk to you. We need to have us a conversation.
Bringing real back. 50 speaking his mind. That boy with the shit.
What this says is you can find a negative stat on any player. The difference is when it's a Dallas Cowboy, they pump, inflate, and they pump up any negative about that player. That's the difference. When it's a Cowboy player, they go pump. Yeah, I ain't lying. I'm telling the truth. Appreciate the super chat, Angie. I'm telling the truth. Let me give you an example. Remember when Dak threw 15 interceptions for the first time in his career? And we know a lot of those was tips, at least 4 of them. And we know another 4 or 5 of them was on them option routes from Kellen Moore. What was they doing? Mike McCarthy, what are you gonna do about Dak's interceptions? And they was non-stop. See, that's why I'm telling y'all, we gotta be real careful, cause then we'll start eating our own. I'm telling you, we'll start eating our own, and then you look up and you find out that your own guy is just like the greatest. Your own guy. But when it's Micah, he don't show up. They don't even ask smart questions like, well, was he going against a running team? Was they running at him? Was they running away from him? It's a way to cause a defensive end stat line to be 0. It is. This don't even mean that Lawrence Taylor was trash. We just need to stop judging greatness from a stat sheet. Because then you start over knocking. Because in all these playoff games, I guarantee you, they knew exactly who LT was, and they did their best to stay away from him. That's likely what you're looking at. The same thing with Micah Parsons. They know exactly who he is, and they do their best to stay away from him. But when it don't show up on the stat sheet, then people say, man, he's sorry, man. Don't pay him. Are y'all saying y'all wouldn't have paid LT? Every one of us would have paid LT with all these zeros. So I say that to say, this is why I say all of us need to be executive jurors. I mean that. I meant that when I said that last week, man. You can't trust. Listen, man, it's a lot of people, they talk good, they talk fast, but they don't talk in facts. I'm telling you. They'll shoot down their own guys, shoot them down. But I double check. I sure do. Klebo came in and said that. He said, boss, I double checked, man. Guess what his stat line was? I told Klebo to his face, I'ma check. I said, I don't trust you. I said, well, I trust you. I just gotta verify that. And I went and verified. I'm like, boy, that boy Klebo told the truth. Man, God dog. Then my boy Klebo right there. There he is. Klebo say, man, you shut it down the other day with this, bro. You shut it down. Now the question is, with this fact I heard, hold on. You said, Sadiq, I missed your super chat. Y'all starting to come in with them supers, so let's go. If y'all gonna come in with them supers, man, I'm gonna change up the format real quick. I see y'all supers coming in. Let's get it. Thank you, Miss Charles. I do see it. All right, let's go, y'all. If y'all come with them supers, I'm gonna change up. Man, but that's crazy to me, man. Boy, Klebo, man, y'all clap it up for Klebo real quick, man. He deserved one, bro. He deserved one, man. That boy Klebo came in with the facts. When you look here, LT, no tackles. And what would y'all say about any player that played defensive end? What would y'all say about any player that played defensive end in big games that only had 6.5 sacks? What would y'all honestly say? In 15 games, almost a full season, if he only had 6.5 sacks, what would you say? Be honest. I know what you would say. So let me take these super chats real quick, man. Y'all clowning. I appreciate the super chats, man. Y'all coming in with a lot of love. I always appreciate it. Sadiq Charles said, boss, not enough fans are showing they are upset. Ooh, preach. I only see those that be in the chat are the only ones showing they are upset. Yeah, it's we need more, Miss Charles. We do. We need more. We need more of us that's upset and being organized on why. See, I'm upset on our guys. That's what pissed me off. Angie with the super chat said, it's a lot of fans on the sidelines and not enough soldiers on the front line, man. Boy, them two super chats. That's what we need. Soldiers. Not complainers. Soldiers. Yeah. And then I'm looking at, but ain't this a trip? My boy say, don't show up when it matters. That's exactly what they would say, Paul. And then my boy say, Big Benny say, boo boo. That's exactly what they would say. D-Block said we need the entire Cowboy Nation. Man, listen, man. We got to also continue to grow Boss Cowboy Sports. We do. I mean, shout out to the other content creators. They do a great job. It's one thing that I do an excellent job at, though. Hands down. calling out front office on the details of where they dropping the ball. I'm excellent at that, and I prove it. That's why, honestly, we need Boss Cowboy Sports to be way bigger than what it is. Y'all can help that with shares. You can help that by hitting the like. You can help that many ways. Most importantly, I want you to help it with a hashtag. Get behind a movement. Make your voice matter. It's not enough to just be upset. Upset is good, but then after you're upset, what's gonna be your action behind what you're feeling, right? So we obviously got different campaigns you can get behind. Right now, the main campaign that I'm behind is, obviously paying Micah, because just think about how insulting they're moving right now. Just think about how insulting they're moving. Now, Micah Parsons done came out and said he want to be team friendly. And they out there saying, we haven't even started talks yet. Shouldn't we be spamming the shit out of front office? 877 pay Micah now. Now, Micah done already did his part. He said, hey, y'all, I'm not going to be like Dak and CD. I want to give you a deal. I want to give you the hookup. I just need you to talk to my agent. Let's get it going. Let's get the talks going. And their report is lately there's been no talks.
Oh, hell no.
What? Why? The man telling you, I want to be team friendly. Then what you waiting on? What you waiting on? All right. So we talking about making this transition into free agents. So y'all get used to this. Y'all gonna be looking at this all through free agency. Say, man. Hey, man. Fox Redubber said boss allows front office to bury nothing. Boss is Dallas front office archaeologist. Say, man, I ain't gonna let them bury nothing over here, my brother. I like that, Keystone. Free 100 million. I like that. We're gonna have to add you to that content creators group, man, so you can throw them hashtags in there. For real. We got to get on the same page. Yep. And I agree with you, D Block. I think it is. I think it's mostly arrogance. I do. I really do. I think that's most of it. Brandon, I do think we influenced Jerry. It just gonna take a lot of work. We do influence him because we influenced him when he didn't want to put Jimmy Johnson in the Ring of Honor. He said that he was looking at the response from the fans, and that's what made him put Jimmy in the ring. Now, is this gonna always work? No. But in an environment like this, the more active we are, the louder we are, especially if they see like what they saw with that Kelly Moore campaign, just millions of impressions of people saying pay Micah. Listen, when they say millions of anything, they're gonna take it serious. If they see millions of anything, they gonna take it serious. You have to. If you see 1 million eyeballs in agreement saying pay Micah, that's 1 million paying fans. If every one of those millions spent $20, that's 20 million. I agree, though. I agree, Brandon. I agree. It did take him 20 years, but they didn't have Twitter 20 years ago. When he put Ware in, he was reading the Twitter comments. And they was overwhelmingly killing Jerry. And he said he looked at it, he said, ooh, that's exactly what he said. He said, ooh, I didn't intend for that. You know? So some of the things, Brandon, you making some good points. You making some good points, Brandon. You ain't told no lies. I'm just trying to, get us to push back, because it's either push back or it's gonna take 40 years. I'd rather take 20 than 40. You know what I mean? That's all. But you're right. They stubborn. But we at least gotta punch back. So let me get into this, and I'm gonna take some phone calls real quick. So get used to this, because I do this every year. This is the free agent list. This is the complete list. Restricted free agents and all. We got it all here. Okay. So this is a big list of needs that we have. Now, I'm going to ask y'all a question and involve everybody on this, because this is what I do in the Boss Cowboy Guide, but I'm doing it in video form this year. Well, I did it last year in video form too. But looking at this free agent list, what would you say just on the surface seems to be our biggest need? I'm going to wait. I'm going to just listen to y'all. I want to hear what y'all got to say. Just looking at the list. It's going to be a little bit of an awkward silence, but I want to see what y'all got to say. Looking at this list, what would you say is our biggest need? I'm going to even do them one by one. So you got corner, defensive line, defensive end, linebacker, safety, guard, with a guy that retired, quarterback, a bunch of free agents, Will Greer on contract, running back, tackle, and wide receiver. So y'all responses are coming in. Most people saying running back. Wow. I see cornerback, linebacker, running back, Osa, running back, defensive end, running back winning by a landslide. Somebody said running back and safety, running back and cornerback. Lou say DT. And then Lou say linebacker. Man, this is starting to go all over the place now. Okay. Keystone say DT. Superstar say cornerback, linebacker, DT. 2 safeties. Whew. This is different. Listen. Running back, I would easily say is the favorite to what y'all believe. When I look at this free agent list, the first thing that stand out to me, to be honest, to me, is defensive end. That's the first thing that stand out to me, because it's a lot of them. And there was a major impactful player in there, Tank. And then we had another one that had like 6 sacks, Lawson. How many sacks did Lawson have? 6 or 8? So when I see 4 free agents in one room, that's a lot of depth potentially that could be missing. That's the first thing I thought. So let me get to this real quick. Today's stream is brought to you by BetUS. And at BetUS, you can receive 150% bonus on your first deposit, 125% on your next 2 deposits up to $2,000. Promo code U2 150. So that's the first thing that stood out to me, and that's the first thing that stand out to me every time I do a book every time I would write a book, the first thing I would look at is which one of these free agent groups has the most, right? Because then that tell me that's a sneaky need. When you see a lot of one group as free agents, you gonna have to replenish that. Yeah, you gonna have to replenish that. So that jumped out to me. Another group that super jumped out to me is safety. Whoo, that safety room. I don't like how that look. I don't feel good about that. I don't. Hold on, hit the wrong button. It's a big thing for Boss Cowboy to actually say publicly that he drunk Kool-Aid. Listen, I do not drink Kool-Aid without first measuring. I don't like it. This is why safety room got me concerned. Hear me out. That safety room got me concerned because all three were major up and comers. All three. You could say at some point all three was our favorite at some point in the last 2 years. Izzy made a lot of us fall in love with him after Tampa. A lot of us just love Izzy, period. Just the way that he played. Man, tell the truth. Y'all didn't like Izzy this year, brother? Come on now. What? See, New Winston, you already getting ahead of me, bro. That's why I call y'all executives. You already getting ahead of me. Bring all safeties and trade Dono. You beat me to it. Because, man, if the Cowboys, to me, some of the first people that need to come back is these guys. First of all three should be great deals. Easily. Bell got hurt. Izzy didn't get enough snaps. He never got solidified into a safety or corner position. And Wanye also got hurt. One of the best times to get a good deal is when a player was hurt. Because they don't have a leverage. They don't have the leverage of a knockdown, drag-out season where they clearly built their stock. See, one guy built his stock, right? We can easily say, if we look at the guard position, Hoffman built his stock, right? A lot of people wouldn't mind Hoffman coming back at all because he played enough games for the crowd to start loving him. But you can't say that about these three. I would, for all three of these guys, move on from Dono and Hooker. I think it's for the safety room, it's time for the future. What y'all think of that? I think it's time for the future. I think go ahead and move on, get all the cap savers you can get. Because see, Bell was just giving us a taste, y'all. Do y'all remember that they put him at middle linebacker and he answered the call? Ooh. Do we remember Dallas Goedert arm? Huh. Broke that boy arm. Man, listen, man, that boy Bell better come back. Period. I don't want to call nobody out, but you are crazy if you think Bell can't do what Donald does. You are crazy.
Oh, hell no.
We know Donald is a nasty, high quality missile in the box. But Donovan Wilson would have never played linebacker a whole season.
Oh, hell no.
You gotta bring, I want all three back. I'm not playing. I want all three. But if you had to pick two, who would be your two? Because that's what we go. And see, I didn't even know that. Bell faster? I didn't even know that, bro. Y'all telling me Bell ran a 4.4, bro? Bell is a restricted. You right. You right. But I want all them safeties back, man. So I'm telling you right now, my thoughts when I was looking at the list, right? So this is going to be my free agent list, and it's going to be an action list. So what's going to happen is, as people are coming on to the team, you're going to see it get added to this list. As we lose people from the team, you're going to see them subtracted from this list. I'm going to go through this fast so I can get on the phone. The list that I'm actually the most disappointed in, just to be all the way honest, this one is probably the most disappointing of them all. Just looking at a 4th round pick just wasted. I like y'all answers. I see Thomas and Bell. I see Izzy. I see a lot of Izzy. I see a lot. I think if I had to pick two, whew, that's hard, man. I can't pick two out of them. But that's the most disappointing list. Duh, man, that's just frustrating. The only thing I think about when I see this list is frustration. But as we talk about the Boss Cowboy guy going forward, because we go through each one of these in detail. We go look at the quarterbacks in the draft. We go look at free agents. We go look at the guards, free agents in draft. We go look at all that. We go look at every bit of it, right? And I like this. See, this is what the Boss Cowboy Guide is about right here. See, I like this type of stuff right here. I love this type of stuff. Where boys coming with good ideas. You know what I mean? I love that. That's what I'm talking about. And I do, yeah. Demetrius, Izzy got done bad. I absolutely agree with you. And I definitely agree, move on from Rush. That whole list pissed me off. When I look at this list, I see nothing but waste. Just pure waste. We protected Cooper Rush for what? For what? Yeah, that's Will Greer, and we signed him, Brandon. So he's already under contract. My boy say Thomas, Bell, is in that order for me. Yeah, that's a hard one, bro. I'm gonna have to think on that for a while. But that was the most important disappointing list. Now, a lot of y'all said running back. I definitely agree with that. Running back being and I know why a lot of y'all said running back. Running back is almost like, when you look at his injury history and you look at Deuce being the backup, yeah, hell yeah, running back is a major need. So I can see why y'all definitely put running back as the top need. Tackle, to be honest, do we need a tackle free agent? In my opinion.
Oh, hell no.
Because Awesome Richards is going into year 3. And Chuma was one of the best deals in football. The starting reps you got out of Chuma for the price you paid, outstanding. But he also could be a progress stopper at this point, because Awesome Richards is starting. See, we gonna talk about that type of stuff. Then you got wide receiver. Let's just talk about this real quick. Who you bringing back if you just had to bring somebody back? Talk to me. I'm gonna just let this sit right here for a little while. I'm gonna read y'all comments. Okay, it's coming in. Overwhelming, I'm seeing. Turpin. You gotta. Somebody said neither. You wouldn't bring back Turp, dog? Not even for special teams? I think you gotta bring back Turp. In my opinion. I ain't knocking, but I think you gotta bring back Turp, bro. Turp was killing on them special teams. And I felt like Turp was starting to turn up on offense. I could see Turp being a mean number 4. A mean number 4. I want to bring Turpin back, man. And somebody said Turpin over Cooks. Turpin, yeah. I'm team Turp too. I'm team Turp. Nothing wrong if you think different, but this looks very overwhelming to me. Team Turp. Yeah. So yeah, this is what we gonna be discussing as we start getting closer to free agents. So we gonna break every one of these position groups down, and we gonna look at it from the draft as well as free agents. Linebacker is so interesting. Oh, that linebacker is so interesting. So I'm gonna wait till I do that show where I break down whatever chapter that is gonna be for linebacker. We gonna talk about free agent options, and I'm gonna tell you right now, a lot of y'all are asking, would I bring back Kendricks?
Oh, hell no.
No. Will not bring back Kendricks. I would try to go get Greenlaw. That's my number 1 guy. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get a guy that's going to turn the whole defense. So anyway, man, we got a lot of work to do this offseason. I mean, a lot of work to do. So let's get on these phones real quick. I want to hear from y'all. I just want to introduce chapter 1 of the Boss Cowboy video guide. Very important to me. That we start really addressing all parts of free agency. not just the draft, because you know I'm very important. The draft is very important. But you can clearly see from this list that we don't have enough draft picks to cover all the needs we gonna likely have. We don't. So let me take some calls, man. Let's get it.
Brown baby down to take a flight to me. They think that I'm stunting, but it's slight to me. Piling paper got them talking nice to me. Guess that's why the labels want the rights to me. CD on my back and it feel light to me. They think that I'm stunting, but it's slight to me.
Yeah. So my boy say, and I agree with this, Montana. He say Greenlaw is a hurt guy. And that's why I want him. That's why I want him. Because see, I'm thinking like Stephen Jones. If he wouldn't have been hurt guy, I wouldn't even brought him up because he would have been priced out. But with him being hurt guy, he gonna likely be at a deal. You know. And that's also like Steven. They like to do flawed former greats. And sometimes it work out like it did for a while with Malik Hooker. Malik Hooker was the biggest hurt guy of all time. It was a 99% chance that he was going to be re-injured, according to injurypredictor.com. It was a literally 99% chance he was going to be re-injured, and he never got re-injured again. I said it would be a miracle if he played 6 games. And he played like 3 years. Boy, so I would gamble on that. I would. Now get depth. Whenever you get hurt players, get depth. But I got the phones on, man. If y'all don't call in 30 seconds, I'm gonna get up out of here. Cause y'all can see, man, I'm under the weather. Y'all can see I'm sniffling and all that. It just started happening. That usually mean I need to get some rest. So, all right. So I'm counting down to my head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Nobody called in. I mean what I say. Hey, y'all. So y'all stay with Boss Cowboy Sports. I got something I'm gonna really be talking about, man. That's gonna be really important. I'm gonna shock y'all. It's something that's really brewing right now that I have to talk about. I'm gonna give you a clue. Some of y'all ain't gonna like what I gotta say, but I'm gonna tell you. When I looked at this draft class, I would trade Ferg.
Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters.
Yeah, moving too bossy, we don't tread softly, but not flossy, the streets that taught me, moving too bossy, we don't tread softly, but not flossy, the streets that taught me, I'm just trying to get my nigga paid. We came from Section 8, and I knew I was at since the 2nd grade. Man, I swear my time is coming, cause I'm never late. Came from broken homes and broken dreams to getting paid. Dollar bill, listen close,
This stream was brought to you by BetUS. 150% bonus on your first deposit and 125% on your next 2 deposits up to $2,000. Promo code YouTube 150.
even when it's slow. Higher heights to balance out the lows. Can't ride the wave cause you ain't got a boat.